Hello, here's where we're going to talk about having a quick overview of OJAI. So when you first arrive to OJAI, what you'll find here is your big menu profile. And so here you'll be able to find my profile. You'll be able to have a couple of hot buttons in terms of looking at who you're following, any posts you've made, movements you've created, any followers that you have gained. Next, you'll have your badges. If there's any badges you have earned, you can also click on the badges, see information about them. You can also see any progress you have made with those badges. And then next, you'll also be asked to verify your email. This will kind of stay here until you do verify. And all you need to do at this point is just hit send verification email and follow the instructions that come to your email. Make sure you check any of your spam boxes or your junk boxes. Finally, here you will have your Explorer hot buttons. What you'll notice in OJAI is that there are many features that are deliberately redundant, which makes it easier for you to find sort of the same things in different ways, right? So the first thing you have here is a quick hot button to creating a movement or a story map. You have your news feed, you have your jobs, you have my organizations, which is a shortcut to be able to find organizations that you are either following or a part of. So that means whether you're a member of that organization, an admin, or editor, or you're just generally following them, you'll be able to find them quickly by clicking here. Next, you have events, the funding database, exploring the data catalog, which is the map data catalog, a quick hot button to using the AI, finding all of your badges, and then if you're currently in the organizational mode, you'll be able to open your back office. You then will have a button for billing, a help button, a shortcut to any RSVPs that you may have had in terms of events that you're going to, and then next your profile. Next, we're going to explore your side panel. Here, when you hover over the side panel, it will open up. And so first and foremost, where we currently are, which is the dashboard. Next is the OJAI news feed. The news feed is where you'll tend to find trending posts that any users may make, and you also have news. So the system is set to cycle through different sort of environmental or local or national and global news throughout the day. Sometimes it's usually as much as like a few times an hour. At times it might just be twice a day, but typically that's what you'll find here. And this is a great place for you to be able to post content and interact with other users and be able to really sort of like begin to post trending posts. Now you can schedule it by looking at what's trending. You can schedule it by looking at just news only. You can also do it by people that you may be following. You can also find your current posts as well if you've made any posts. Right. The feed also allows you to post content such as images and videos as well. Next on the line are movements. Movements is where you will find the story maps that have been created by users. On one of the things you'll notice in OJAI, everything is sort of map-based and place-based. So all the movements, you begin to see them here on the map as they come about. And you have a few ways to look up movements, right? You can then hit trending. These are ones that are popular and moving around. You can hit new movements that have been created. You can create ones that are popular, and as well as any that are maybe featured right now. Right? To be able to go through a movement, you simply would just click, usually the circular button here, and it will take you through that movement. If you want to follow a movement, you would go ahead and click here, and thus would follow the movement. If you want to unfollow it, just unclick and it would do that. Navigating through movements are pretty simple. So typically one of the things you could do is if you click on the movement, and at that point you'll be able to see that some movements have multiple sites. Here's where you would just click and see those sites that are all about that movement. So then you're able to go through and navigate them side by side. So as to not overwhelm the system, you will be able to scroll down and see that there's multiple pages. As you go through different pages, you will see that the movements change across the map. Later on, we'll go into more detail about navigating movements. Next, you have OJAI. OJAI is your sort of your AI sort of chatbot co-pilot. And here's where you want to be able to have a conversation with the AI itself. You're able to do it multiple ways. So you're able to do it by exploring Explorer mode, which would then turn on the internet. You're able to upload data to it and be able to have that conversation. Here is if you simply want to use OJAI as just a map explorer on its own. Next, you would have the community directory. Community directory also functions with the map. So as you go through the community, you will notice you'll be able to see where they are in terms of the map. Next, you have your organizations, which work the same way. You can search organizations. You can also find them by the most members. You can also find them by latest and who's popular in a variety of different ways. Next is another hot button to quickly go to your actual profile. Your profile is where you would have your main page, right? Whether that's your personal page or your organizational page. If you are an admin for an organization, you will see that you would have some action buttons here at the top. If you're in an organizational page and you don't see this, it means that you're not an admin or editor of that organization. And so here you have your overview. If your organization, you would have more tabs, but as everyone will have an overview, you have your social media hot buttons, you have any movements that you would have created, you have any groups you would have created, members of your organization if you are an organization, and then as well as you have events, jobs, funding that you may have posted. So moving from this side to this side, here is where you begin to have your map controls. So here in OJAI, it's very focused on place-based organizations, community members, movements, and stories. And so in the map feature, you'll have ability to import data to overlay on this map. We do take a variety of different data sets. So you have CSV files, JSON, GeoSign, KML, KMZ, and shape files that you can load. You have layers where you can toggle your layers on and off. Here you can toggle your clustering options. So if you're currently clustering, you can toggle that on and off and manipulate the circles. Next, you'll be able to export your map. And here's where you'll find your data catalog, which is constantly growing. This is where you'll find a curated list of data sets here that'll allow you to sort of like go through these different data sets and load them to interact with your maps. We'll go more into detail about that later. Here you'll have your map tools, which include lines, polygons, measurements, trash it, cancel the drawing, finish the drawing. Next, you have your lookup location, which is also AI powered, which will allow you to pull up AI summaries of different areas that you click on if the data is available. You have a map search if you want to look for different addresses or landmarks. And lastly, if you want to share your map across a social media. Here, you can show less of this menu or extend it. And secondly, here is also next, again, your AI button. So if you click this button, it'll automatically activate the AI. Next, you have your top form. Here's where you're going to have your resources and opportunities databases. First and foremost is your funding database, which allows you to search globally, any type, any status, as well as if you want to search for keywords. As well as here, you're able to search by recently funded, deadline, amount. Next, you have your jobs and opportunities. Here you have your resource and research hub. The resources hub allows you to go through community-based and submitted resources. of all types. So you have videos, audio, courses, webinars, books, articles that you can go through. And then next you would have your research hub. And your research hub is our exclusive API that allows you to sort through over 600 million publications and scholarly works. We will go more into detail about this later on. But here you're able to really go through here and have a very large data sets of different types of resources that you can go through from all over the world and utilize and download. And then lastly, our events database. Here's where you can also see different events that are happening all over the world and all over the nation. And you're also able to post as well. And then lastly, you have your two hot buttons where if you need any help requests, you can click here. It'll open up a form to report any glitches or any difficulties that you may be having, as well as your current feedback and feature requests as well. So here you are, a current quick overview of OJAI and how does it work. The main thing you want to remember is that if you ever need to find anything, you can just quickly go back to your dashboard, which will have everything here. The dashboard also features a sort of shortcut to things such as, for instance, you'll notice the news feed is here, right? The chat box is automatically here. So it's the same exact chat box that you would if you click this button. Same news feed that's here is also here as a quick shortcut. Right? And then you will have the tutorial video shortcut is also here. Featured movements, featured funding opportunities, featured any research or job opportunities here as well. So all things those here are here on your main dashboard menu, which allows it for you to find these things very quickly and easily. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this overview of OJAI, and we'll on to the next message.